Mr. Shanks, what do you do for me?
I'm a firefighter for the city of Carrollton, and I'm also a paramedic with Ambicare EMS.
Then how long have you been in that field?
Fire department since 2008, and with Ambicare from 11 to 19, and I've been back with Ambicare since last year's.
Okay, so tell me, where did you first work?
I first worked at the city of Carrollton, which I'm still employed, in 2008. Then I went to Ambicare in 2011, working both jobs still. And then in 2019, I left Ambicare, went to West Georgia for 5 years. And as of June last year, I'm back at Ambicare.
So you've been doing this a long time?
A very long time. Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you have occasion to respond to a collision in September of 2015?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you tell me, how did you get there?
Came in an ambulance. I think it was Medic 3. We had just returned from the county from taking a patient to Redmond from a different accident. As we were coming back into the county.
Now, where is it?
Up in Rome.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm sorry.
No, you're
way
good.
back?
On our way back, we got dispatched to an accident at the intersection of Highway 27 and I think it was Holly Springs Road. And told dispatch we were en route to the call.
Okay. And who's we?
Me and my partner.
Which was who?
Ken Hicks.
All right. So you arrive on scene, what do you see?
Got on scene. Before we got there, we was asking where was our patient located at. They told us that she was at the intersection of Highway 27 and Holly Springs, that she was laying in the roadway.
Okay. And did you back time her in that position?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
All right. And what condition was she in?
When we got to her, fire department was there also, and they already had her on the backboard. She was talking, not saying much. I introduced myself to her. She was in bad shape. She was a little cyanotic around the lips.
Tell me what that is.
It's a bluish color. It lets me know that she's not oxygenating well. So I knew we had to get her in the back of the truck as quick as possible. So we loaded her up, put her on a number breather, got her in the back of the truck. Number breather delivers oxygen to patients to help them breathe a little bit better. Got her in the back of the truck. I was sitting in the airway seat. My partner, Ken Hicks, he was on the bench seat, establishing an IV.
And how long did it take? Where did you take her?
We took her to Atlanta Medical Center once we left the scene.
Okay, how long did that take?
Same forever, probably, I think maybe 45 minutes, I guess. I was in the back. I don't really know how long it took us at the time.
Okay, and why they're not closer?
I knew she needed a level 1 trauma center, just simply because of the mechanism of injury. That alone was enough for me to say she needed a trauma medical center. So that's why we went to Atlanta.
Okay. Did her condition change on the way?
It did. It did. So I noticed that she started developing bruising around the eyes. And like her level of consciousness decreased before we left the scene. I knew that she had blood and secretions coming out of her mouth, so I knew I needed to protect her airway. So the choice was made that we needed to intubate her, which is a breathing tube that helps our patients breathe a little better. So we ended up having to chemically sedate her. We did that. And, before we did that, she told me her first name. She told me her first name, and she asked for her mom.
Do you remember who was in it?
Her name was Kylie. Yes, ma'am.
So when you get to Atlanta Medical Center, then what happens?
We get to Atlanta Medical Center. We get her out of the stretcher. We get her out of the ambulance. She's still on the stretcher. We wheel her in. The trauma staff is there waiting on us. Take her in the trauma room. We give the doctors and the nurse a report of the accident, what we know of the accident, and the patient condition, and the treatment we provided. And we answer any other questions that they have for us before we come back to our response zone.
Did you have interaction with anyone else at the scene? I apologize, that's terrible question. Did you have interaction with any other people involved in the accident?
No, ma'am. No, Kylie was my responsibility. No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Ooh, this is tough testimony. You can hear the crying in the courtroom. It's our understanding that was the victim's mom crying, understandably so. When you hear this kind of testimony, it's really, really tough. And what about answering that kind of call? Imagine what that's like for those first responders. You know, think about whatever job that you do. Me, I do this job. I go home, I eat dinner, can go on with my day. Think about these people that see such tragedies and horrific things. How are they going home to their family, sitting down to dinner, going on with their day without being affected by it? Really special people who do those jobs. And I've got one of them here on the program giving us analysis today, Agent Jennifer Coffendaffer. Jennifer, a little known fact about you, you were a SWAT team medic. That's got to be really, really hard. What's that like?
Well, I tell you what, when I'm listening to his description of everything and doing my rotations on the ambulance and in the ER, those are really horrific moments that often you have to come upon. But I got to tell you, you really just lock into your training. You're very specifically looking at particular medical issues, and you address those issues, Julie. So while it might seem like it would seem very emotional, in reality, you lock into what you have to do to save that life.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you just kind of go on autopilot, huh? Just do the job, do what you're trained to do, and because you can't, it would be debilitating, right? If you let it affect you in the moment, how can you be clear-headed and render the aid? Yeah, that's got to be really, really challenging. And for these victims, Jennifer, I know you're such a compassionate victims advocate. Thinking about what these folks in the courtroom are going through hearing this, ooh, your thoughts as you were hearing Mom crying there as the testimony was given?
Well, right, and I was listening actually on all the testimony of these firefighters and first responders. All that crying in the background is definitely going to affect the jurors. They're going to be looking over at Mom. They're going to be looking at those tears and the photos of these young girls. They're so beautiful. This is so tragic. It shouldn't have happened, and I would submit would not have happened without driving 90 miles an hour in a 45.
Yeah, Jennifer Coffendaffer, great analysis from you. We'll hit a break, and as we do, we're going to remember those victims. Always want to keep the focus on the people who this trial is about, the victims. Kylie Lindsey and Isabella Chinchilla, these beautiful young ladies with their whole lives ahead of them. They are deeply missed, and they were deeply loved when they were here on this earth.